With the announcement of Gundam Seed Freedom confirmed to be showing here in the Philippines, as of today, no specific dates are given, I thought I'd talk about the Gundam movies that we got before Gundam Seed Freedom. If you look up Gundam movies right now and look for the officially released movies, you will see a number of them have been released within the Gundam franchise's lifespan, and the latest one being Seed Freedom. Now, a lot of these are just compilation movies, which basically turns a whole Gundam episodic series into a bunch of movies that you can just watch in case you don't want to see the whole series. But the more popular movies that we know are the epilogue types, which are continuations of the series they are based on. Like example is the Mobile Suit Gundam 00, the movie Awakening of the Trailblazer, and that was quite a different movie, I will say. Who expected aliens in a Gundam story? Especially 00 with its modern setting and realistic mechas in the first season especially. Another much more popular movie would be Gundam Wing Endless Waltz, which introduced us to the Wing Gundam with angel wings. I don't understand why they have to shape the wings into like angel wings, but you know, it's visually striking, it looks cool, but imagine the engineers who had to actually create gigantic metal wings. Yeah, they work, they bend, and considering they're in outer space, they didn't actually have to do that, right? You can correct me in the comments if they serve a purpose, but the Wing Gundam still has thrusters. The wings don't make sense. Fight me. We also have classic Gundam movies, which are continuation of the main timeline of the Gundam franchise, which is Char's Counterattack, which is actually a pretty good movie. However, this movie was especially made for those who have watched the first Gundam series, Zeta Gundam and Double Zeta Gundam, that features a lot of the lore and story from the previous Gundam series and movies. There is also an upcoming live-action movie that is being produced by Legendary Pictures and Sunrise and will be distributed through Netflix. So I'm excited and also anxious at what they're gonna do with a live-action Gundam. Considering this is Netflix, it's been hit or miss with their live-action adaptations. We've got a really good one with One Piece, a pretty mid one with Bleach, and then there's Death Note. I'm not gonna lie, I enjoyed it for what it is, but even I know that is not a good Death Note adaptation. I don't understand why they adapted the manga and anime and then just twisted it into their weird, funky version. It's bad. It's bad. I understand if people hate this movie, but I don't know, it's pretty fun to me. But speaking of live action, this was not the first attempt to create a live-action Gundam movie. The Netflix one is actually the second one. And the first one, they want you to forget. Like, seriously, they want you to forget this thing existed. So let's turn back the clock way back, over 24 years ago. Way back in 1999. It was this year that they decided to celebrate the 20th anniversary of the Gundam franchise, and they titled this project The Big Bang Project. I don't know why they would call it that, but I guess they want to go with a bang with the new year, especially Y2K. So a part of this project is the anime series Turn A Gundam, created by Yoshiyuki Tomino, who is the original creator of the first Gundam series. And the other project is called G-Saviour. Fun fact about the G-Saviour movie is that it is unique among its Gundam brethren for not having the word Gundam in its title. nor was it used throughout the film's run. That was really weird. Seriously, they never called any of the Gundam units a Gundam. It's just the G-Saviour. So what was the movie about? Well, to put it simply and without spoiling anything, this movie takes place at the furthest end of Universal Century, which is the calendar for the original Gundam, or rather the main timeline of Gundam. And in this time frame, the Earth Federation, or the world government, has lost its power. The space colonies have gained independence from Earth Federation, but they encountered a food supply problem. Now, considering that they are living in space, it is considerably harder to make food, and Earth can produce food because it's covered in land. A space colony has a patch of land, maybe, but it has to be filled with things to make it work. So that's one of the major problems of the colonies facing at the moment. Until a scientist from a neutral space colony came up with a breakthrough that could prove to solve the food crisis. Of course, one of the governing bodies they still want to control, and this group is called Consent. Just funny because they'll take over your space colony without consent, and let's move on. So this breakthrough is an enzyme creating artificial sunlight, which can help grow crops in colonies, especially if they are farther away from the sun, to make agriculture effective. This sparks the conflict for the movie. This begins the Battle of Settlement of Gaia, our main space colony, and Consent. A war breaks out, they bring out the mobile suits, and eventually our hero is forced to pilot a unit called the G-Saviour.
This will help them succeed. This is the G-Saviour.
Stunning, isn't it?
We've nurtured its development from the genius of the Savior team.
Get out of town.
Yeah, you can see we've made a few improvements from the old junkers that you and I were forced to fly in the Army.
I can see. They've had a whole lot.
It's ready for you to use.
What?
It's funny that a lot of these pilots are just forced into these. Kira Yamato from Gundam Seed was forced into one. From the original Gundam, Amuro Ray was forced into one. Now, with the movie, I wouldn't say it was good, but I wouldn't say it was pretty bad either. It was a very average movie. It's a bad Gundam movie, but as its own standalone movie, it's pretty average. I can see people enjoying it. At the same time, I can see people complaining about it. Now, why would I say Sunrise wouldn't want you to see this movie and is trying their hardest to make you forget about its existence? Well, for starters, you can watch the entirety of the G-Saviour movie on YouTube. Although you wouldn't find it right away, it's somewhere in the YouTube sphere. Not to mention, Sunrise has never reprinted the DVD for G-Saviour, allowing it to fall out of print over the seas. So if you wanted a brand new copy, you're screwed. The only other time G-Saviour was ever mentioned again was on the 2013 anime Gundam Build Fighters, a brief appearance in a simulator training showing the G-Saviour for the first time in 2D animated form, and this is how I learned of its existence. Now, while Sunrise would like you to forget about the existence of this live-action movie, they are pretty much open to sell you the only model kit, the G-Saviour itself. Although the name is kinda confusing, on the box it is called G-Saviour Space Mode. In case you're having a hard time remembering the name, I do have it myself. It doesn't look too bad and it's not hard to build, but I digress. They did plan a whole line of model kits based on the mobile suits from the movie. However, with the reception of the movie going so well, not good. They canceled it after releasing the G-Saviour space mode. So there goes that. There was a photo of 2 mobile suits announced for the high grade of G-Saviour movie, however only G-Saviour was released. I couldn't find the photo anymore showing the second high grade, but I swear I think it was this unit. Even with the movie's reception, the high grade model kit of G-Saviour Space Mode was reprinted on October 2017, after a decade of it missing from store shelves. There was also a video game made for the PlayStation 2 for G-Saviour, with the story set after the movie proper. I tried the video game myself, I even have my own copy, and I will say it controls pretty alright for the time, but if you would try it now, I would say it sucks. It did not age well, I will say. So there you have it. The G-Saviour movie. Its legacy has been quite odd, considering that Sunrise has been trying to erase the movie from history, but still want to sell its toys, basically its model kits, to everyone if there was a demand for it. So yeah, I would suggest, if you are a Gundam fan, to give it a try. It is an average movie, but as a Gundam fan, I think you'll find something to like, or something to hate, who knows. A lot of people says this is terrible, but I would say it's pretty acceptable. I enjoyed it. I mean, I bought the model kit for it, so yeah, I won't tell you where to watch it, you know what to do. Oh, and one last thing about G-Saviour is that last year, in 2023, G-Saviour received an official US soundtrack release. It took them 23 years before it got an official US soundtrack release. I don't even know what to say to that. If you made it to this part of the video, thank you so much for watching the whole thing. It means so much to me. If you like what you see, hit the like button. And if you want to see more, I'll be making some more videos. Click the subscribe button down there. In any case, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.